Welcome back. This is the third video in the Audio Recording Kit, or ARC series, for the National Network for Equitable Library Service. This video is about choosing a book and preparing to read. I'm Steve Brown.
The Chicago Cubs all-star baseball pitcher, Jake Arrieta, had a great quote about the importance of being ready to go. He said, "The preparation is what allows the success to happen naturally." It is true for a baseball pitcher, and it's just as important for you too. Selecting a book is a fun and important part of the process, but we can't record just any book. The Canadian Copyright Act prevents us from recording a book for NNELS if an audiobook version already exists somewhere in the world for sale. We screen every single book that people want to record and see if it's, quote, commercially available, unquote. We have to do this. We respect the publishing industry and aren't trying to take business away from anyone, so we don't mind checking. If you already know what you want to record, please go to the NNELS.ca website and submit your book so it can go through our screening process. If you want to check your book before we do, you can search around online and see if you can find a commercial audio version of that book. For example, you can search audible.com, Google, and anywhere else you think audiobooks might live. If you don't know what you want to read, you just go to the same page on the NNELS website and choose something from our list of pre-screened books. Another reason a book might not be a candidate for reading is if it relies too heavily on illustrations to tell the story. To decide if this is the case, read the book carefully and ask yourself, does the story depend on the pictures?
You know, if it really depends on the illustrations, just find another book. If it only depends on them a little, then they must be described.
If you want to read a book that needs image descriptions, you can find the instructions on the NNELS website. I'll have more on this topic in just a second. If this is your first recording, it might be best to start with a book whose story does not depend on the illustrations. Please choose a book you can record easily in a single sitting. This generally means a children's picture book with no chapters. You might also be wondering if you can record a book in any language. The answer is yes. And there's information about this on the NNELS website. Does it matter if you have an accent? No, it doesn't, as long as people can understand you. You may have to work a little harder to enunciate, but we welcome all efforts. Once you choose a book to read, and it's been screened by NNELS, you need to find a copy of that book if you don't already have one. You can ask your local librarian for help if you need it. When you have the book in hand, you need to complete a book recording plan. This will help you figure out what goes where and what to name your tracks. In addition to helping you get organized, it will also help you figure out any extra prep work, such as image descriptions. The book recording plan has blanks for you to fill out, like the title of the book, the author, and so on. And oh yeah, we want to know who you are too.
That information will be the first thing a listener hears when they pick up your recording. Now, we promised to talk about image descriptions, and here we are.
The question is, when do you need an image description? If the story does not work without the illustration, you need to describe that illustration. You begin by saying, narrator's note, and then you describe what's in the illustration, and then you close by saying, end of narrator's note. Be brief, but stay in the spirit of the story. I'll give you an example. In this book, Storm Boy, there's this page near the end of the story. It reads, "As he did, the boy felt a great surge beneath him, as if he were being carried upward at a greater and greater speed. He kept his eyes closed and held on tight." Now, it's important with this text to know that on this page, the boy is on the back of a whale. It's also important to separate your description from the text of the book. Here's what you could say for this page. Narrator's note. The boy is riding on the back of an orca whale, holding onto its dorsal fin. End of narrator's note. I would include this information as a note in my book recording plan and put a sticky note in the book to remind myself of what to read.
For more examples of different books and some image descriptions to go with them, please check out the image description section of the recording instructions on the NNELS website.
Now, this can all get a bit tricky, but no worries. You've got this. You just have to do the best you can. You don't have to be perfect. Once you have your book recording plan done, read the book out loud to yourself, again and again. By the time this is over, you will get to know your book very well. As you read, you may also want to use some sticky notes to remind yourself to pause, enunciate, or adjust your tone or voice.
Ask for some feedback, if you can, ideally from a kid. If this is your first book and you're not completely comfortable recording or reading out loud, maybe you should save your special character voices for your next book.
All right, let's see how we're doing. You've got your book recording plan filled out and ready to go. Check. You're able to describe any illustrations that need describing. Check. And you've read the book 1,000,000 times? Check.
And when you're ready for more information, or when the audio recording kit shows up at your library, please go ahead and watch the next video, number 4, which explains how to get set up and make a sample recording. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Brown.
This program is brought to you thanks to the Government of Canada's Social Development Partnerships Program, Disability Component. Special thanks to our hosts, the Concord Public Library and the Chestermere Public Library. We'd also like to thank the Canadian Council of the Blind, the staff at Calgary's Memorial Park Library, Lynn Thornbear, Luke Gray, and Timeline Media. If you'd like more information, please visit our website at nnels.ca/volunteer. Thank you for watching.